going on, Dunces Family? We got another, well, not really another. It's basically the first of many, first of 30, actually, to be exact, of our new little mini series where we talk about all 30 teams basically before the season starts. I'm out here with Jeremy and Johnny. How you guys doing today, fellas?
We're doing good, Papi.
Doing
We're
good. Last podcast I said Donda will drop. I just realized Donda is never dropping, and Kanye West is like he's just. Donda might just be an album where there's just no music. It's just an album, just like a physical copy of an album.
It's looking like that's the case, to be honest. But we're excited. Oh, there's a background change. I love it, Jeremy. Thank you for that. But guys, we're gonna start off. We're not gonna do it in any particular order. It's just what we wanted to talk about. And today we decided we want to talk about Milwaukee. So I will be putting on that Google Doc a different color so that we never talk about them again. So the Milwaukee Bucks. What did they do this offseason, guys? They re-signed Bobby Portis to a very team-friendly deal. They were able to poach Semi Ojeleye, the Giannis stopper, according to all Boston Celtics.
First of all, I just want to announce to the people, we're doing a 30-day challenge where we try to examine every single team's offseason moves in 30 days. I don't like how Jason kind of underplayed that, but this is a marathon that
I said 60, actually. But yeah,
no,
we're doing 30.
We go 30 for 30.
30 teams in 30 days, 30 for 30.
I think we can do it. I think we can do it. But anyway, back to what I was saying. Not only did they sign Semi Ojeleye, but they re-signed George Hill. And by re-sign, I mean, well, they lost him for a year, but then they got him back. And then we also see that they lost one of their best defenders this season, and who I thought they would bring back, and whatever money he wanted, in PJ Tucker. And they also lost their sharpshooter in Bryn Forbes. So, guys, not really different if you look at it. I mean, the Bobby Portis signing was probably the best signing in this offseason. It could be known as that because they got him on a very, very cheap deal. I think Johnny and I spoke about it on one of our other pods that we recorded, where it was like 2 years, like $5 million or something like that. Like they got him very cheap. So, guys, even though they lost two guys, they basically gained two other guys, younger, veteran point guard and stuff. So, do you guys think that this upcoming season is going to be just another, what can Milwaukee do now that Brooklyn is back? Or do you guys really think that the defending champs can go back to back and win another championship this upcoming season? Anybody can start on this.
I'm going to start first. First of all, the Milwaukee Bucks are frauds. They've always been frauds, but they were a good story. I mean, like Giannis being a good story, like, he came from Africa.
Greece, but okay.
Greece. Oh, we're gonna get hate comments. We're gonna get hate comments.
He's from Nigeria, so it's whatever. But it's a great story, Walt Disney story. It only took last year was the scene of the movie where every single actor, every single supporting cast role got injured, and then he was able to get a free pass to the finals. Then he plays the final boss at the end. The final boss, who's 47 years old, CP3, who broke his wrist, and they're able to get an easy lay to the.
Listen, before I want to cut you off there. Just remember that. Just keep in mind that Giannis didn't choke in the last game. Remember that.
Well, also, Giannis was hurt in the.
He was hurt. But
actually, I take that back. First of all, okay, let me rephrase that. The Bucks are frauds. Let's be real. Yeah, and they will not be back they will not defend any sort of championship. But it was a good run. I mean, Giannis showed why he could be one of the more dominant players in the league. But for them to be contenders next year, obviously Giannis is gonna have to become a consistent free throw shooter because obviously when he gets to the line, he's gonna get to the line whenever he wants, correct? So I mean that's easy points taken off the board if he doesn't be a consistent shooter. And also he can really maximize this offense by being a floor spacer. Obviously in today's NBA, we know how important spacing is. Can we expect Chris Middleton? Can we expect Chris Middleton to be a consistent player throughout the regular season and throughout another playoff run against Brooklyn, against all these teams who have gotten better? Like, to be honest, I don't even think this Bucks team can beat Miami next year. Like,
I agree with that.
Seriously.
But I want to get Jeremy's take before I give mine, because I'm agreeing and kind of disagreeing with you. But
yeah, I agree. I'm on the same. I'm in the same boat as Johnny. At the same time, it's hard to believe that they could actually win it again.
But why though? Like, aren't
It's
they? Like, no matter what happens around the NBA, there's always going to be like injuries that happen. So why can't they do it again? You know?
Yeah, that is true. That is true. Like you got Kyrie Irving. Like Kyrie Irving will leave to the Himalayas mountains to go on a mental health break trip
Get out
2
of
days
here.
before the NBA Finals. KD is gonna argue with a fan on Twitter and travel to him and fight him instead of actually playing. And James Harden's peach cobbler hamstrings will fail on him, or he will just go to a fashion show before the finals. So no one's expecting the Nets, but maybe the Hawks. I don't know. Maybe the Knicks. Okay,
maybe the Hawks. Maybe the Hawks is that's part for a different
But
video.
the point is, the Hawks can beat the Bucks. Then the Miami Heat could beat the Bucks, and the Nets will wash the Bucks. Like there's the East is getting better, and I know they have championship experience, but last season was a fluke season.
But there's some certain players that aren't there no more. For example, PJ Tucker's not there no more. He's not, and that was like the heart and soul of the defense.
What did PJ Tucker? PJ Tucker didn't do anything in the playoffs, bro. Let's be real.
Like, in the finals, he did pretty solid.
Oh, okay, I mean, yeah, that's right.
He at least showed up, and also who showed up was also Middleton. Middleton showed up at least, and that's the whole point of this. Because if Middleton never showed up, they wouldn't be standing here with a ring at least.
That is true, but at the same time, CP3 didn't show up either. So
CP3 didn't show up.
I'd say okay. He didn't show up exactly where he was supposed to, but I mean, he did have a pretty solid series. I mean, when we look back at the numbers,
after game two, bro, CP3 was non-existent.
He looked off. He looked a little bit more passive, but he was still shooting the lights out and still getting the teammates involved.
He was still getting good points. He was still getting good points. It's just that it wasn't the same type of CP3.
So at the end of the day, not having a solid backup center really killed Phoenix.
Yeah, and now they got that with JaVale, but we'll talk about Phoenix another day. But with Milwaukee, my issue with them, with people saying that it's a fluke season, yes, it is definitely more of a fluke season than LeBron's Lakers, because LeBron's Lakers, that was probably the toughest championship that they won.
Yes,
right?
Yes, it was.
So,
I agree with that.
Now here with Milwaukee, it was a little easier, obviously, with all these injuries that occurred. You know, it is what it is. But I think that of all the teams in the Eastern Conference, it's Miami, Brooklyn, and the Milwaukee Bucks. Philly is never going to be there as long as Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are playing there, right? Yeah. And then Boston isn't. You don't really know what they're going to do. They didn't really do much. They got Al Horford back, but he's older now. So what other team is really there? I mean, the Knicks. They signed players to fill in.
Look, we have the Knicks. We have the Knicks. We have the Knicks. Yeah,
you can't tell me that the Knicks are going to beat the Bucks. I
think right now they have a fighting chance right now. Even Atlanta. Even Atlanta.
We don't even know if Julius Randle will give us more than 9 points in a playoff game, bro. Let's start from the basics.
We don't even know if he's gonna use his right hand, bro. Like man loves going left.
Yeah.
So no, I don't know. I think.
Remember the name. Remember the name, Kemba Walker. Remember the name, Kemba Walker. Yeah, just remember that name. Just remember.
Bro, Kemba Walker is gonna his only appearance in the playoffs will be on the injury report. Come on, bro.
You really hate specific players like that.
But no, so my thing is look, they just won the championship. You got to give credit where credit is due. It's hard to get there, right?
Yeah, I mean, Giannis did give us one of the most dominant finals performance
ever.
And you know what? And he didn't have to shoot that much.
No, he didn't.
He's a big man. Like the closest comparison that people say is to Shaq, right? And Shaq would run up and down the floor. He'd catch lobs. He'd bully people in the paint. That's what Giannis does. But no one criticized Shaq for not having a jumper. But everybody's criticizing Giannis for not having a jumper.
Jason, bro.
I'm different league. I understand that. But you have other players around you that can create their own shot. Middleton can do it.
Yeah, that's true.
Can do it. And they lost Dante DiVincenzo last year.
But you're comparing a different type of player. You compare a different type of player to Shaq and Giannis. They're not the same type of player.
But they are. What's their difference?
Okay. No, I mean Giannis. Giannis, hey bro, Shaq can never do. Shaq wishes he could do what Giannis can do.
Okay, but
on the fast break, bro.
Do you understand my point? My point is Giannis is very, very, very dominant in one aspect of the game, where he has guards that can also create for themselves and create for him. He got a center that can shoot, and he got Dante DiVincenzo who plays both ends of the floor, and then a solid bench.
Okay,
so you're telling me that they can't have a chance?
I would say they're a contender next year, but at the same time, they had the Nets' most depleted self, like
Yeah.
as depleted I could possibly get.
I know. I was there. I'm a fan.
It took KD not wearing his regular shoe size for them to move on.
Don't remind me, please.
To move on to the Eastern Conference Finals, dog.
I know.
And
I remember it every day.
Very well.
So the point is that like it was a great season for the Bucks, but I don't feel like I just don't feel like they're gonna be back. Like Giannis, like we don't even know what Chris Middleton will get on a daily basis.
He doesn't have to give anything on a daily basis though, because look, in the playoffs he still showed up when it mattered, right? At the end of the day, at the end of the quarter, is that not the most important part of the game? When the game matters most, you give it to the most important player, which usually is Giannis. But for the Bucks case, it's different. It's Middleton, and Middleton does show up in the clutch. He's proved it in this playoffs. Now, do I actually believe that the Bucks will make the finals? No. But do I believe that they have a chance? Absolutely. The only two teams that I can see better than them are the Miami Heat, because even though that they played a terrible first round series against them, Miami was depleted obviously throughout the season, and them and the Lakers, they both lost in the first round after making it to the finals the year prior, right? So it's not really their fault.
Yeah, Miami never really got into rhythm the entire year, bro.
Exactly. And so that's why I say Miami and Brooklyn are the only two teams that can stop them. Now, another thing that can stop Miami is their age. They're going to be tired once playoffs come around, or they might not be. Who knows? But I think that Milwaukee does have a chance to win it, because no matter what happens this year, if the Lakers don't make it to the finals, an Eastern Conference champion will be crowned this year. There's no Western Conference being crowned.
No, you capping. Stop it.
Are we talking about Golden State?
Bro, the Bucks, bro. I don't even, bro. Like the top 4 teams in the West, I don't think the Bucks can beat.
Stop it.
I'm serious, bro, dog. I'm serious, dog. Like they cannot beat the top 4 teams in the West.
Who?
They can't beat LA.
Okay.
They can't beat the Nuggets.
Stop it.
Bro, I'm telling you, bro, they cannot beat the Nuggets. Bro, with Jamal Murray, bro, the Nuggets.
He's back. Jamal Murray's back. When Murray's back,
how they lock him up? Simple.
Lakers, Nuggets, Jazz. I don't think the Bucks can beat Utah. To be honest, in my opinion, I think I'm serious. You think Giannis gonna do what he did against Phoenix against Rudy Gobert, bro? He can't shoot. He can't shoot. They're basically playing their way into the Jazz's hands, bro.
I don't know, man. I can see the Bucks not destroying them, but I can see them winning that series. Look, who else is there besides who's the 4th team in the West? Because the Clippers aren't there.
Not anymore.
It's just those 3 teams in the West, and we'll talk about the West soon. But
yeah,
I think that the Bucks have more of a chance than most people realize, because they know what it is to get there, and Giannis
have the whole league.
He won a championship, but he's still not done. He's what, 26, 27?
He still got it.
He has so much time left. So I think that they had a pretty solid offseason. I mean, losing PJ Tucker sucks. And I do want to ask you guys, what grade do you guys give their offseason? Obviously, Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton did win Olympic gold. They were able to play under Greg Popovich, one of the greatest minds in the NBA. So they added some new things to their games. So what do you guys give the Milwaukee Bucks offseason grade? Me personally, I give them a B. I think PJ Tucker was a pretty big loss. Signing Semi Ojeleye is really a hit or miss. He can be that PJ Tucker role, or he can be the Justin Jackson role and just not play a single game, right? So I give them a B. What do you give them, Jeremy?
I give them a B-.
Why? Why?
I give a B- because that loss of PJ Tucker hits them a lot, and then you realize that. It's just my opinion. And like you said before, it's either hit and miss with this guy. So you don't know if you get the level that PJ was, or you don't. And
you definitely won't, because PJ Tucker plays with all his heart. Like PJ, he's so underrated.
Yeah.
So what do you think, Johnny? What grade do you
think? I mean, they won the championship. Bobby Portis was a good glue guy that gave him like decent contributions on the offensive end, even more so on the offensive end and the defensive end. Obviously the fans love him, fan favorite, and they signed him for a pretty like team friendly deal. PJ Tucker, I mean, that's not really as big of a loss as you think it is, really, because if you look at the stats, like PJ Tucker, I mean, I know he was a good energy guy, but bro, I mean, I don't really think he gave like a real defensive contribution in the playoffs. Like it wasn't really that.
Bro, him guarding KD like that. I mean, even though no one can guard KD, the fact that he bothered him like that, gassed him out. I mean,
no, didn't KD like average 35?
He did. But PJ Tucker held his own. And
It's better than 40. It's better than 40, 45.
Wait. So what is our bar? What is our bar?
No. But like, listen. But Giannis should have been the one guarding him, but it wasn't Giannis because Giannis had to save his energy. So they had PJ. Who's going to be doing that this upcoming season? Is it going to be Semi Ojeleye? Is it going to be Chris Middleton guarding Kevin Durant?
I think the most PJ Tucker. Okay, I'll give you that. The most PJ Tucker did in that Nets series was talk to KD's mom, and somehow that probably went done. That's the only thing PJ.
But they're friends. They're friends.
Yeah,
They're friends.
So yeah, I mean, I'm excited though for the Bucks this upcoming season. I think B is the average grade that we're just gonna give them. But like I said, guys, just a quick short video that we just wanted to talk about. 30 teams in 30 days, according to Johnny.
Marathon.
Hopefully we'll be able to do
30
it.
for 30.
I think we can. But this is just episode 1, I guess, of 30, right? So next episode we'll just think of a team and we'll just start talking, start rambling. You know, I mean that's really all this podcast is, right? We're the Dunces for a reason. So Jeremy, Johnny, it was a pleasure talking to you guys. And please like, subscribe, hit that like button, and shout us out to all your homies. Johnny,
Giannis, sponsor us, please. Appreciate it.
Johnny, just one last thing. Please take the bandana off. It's not working, bro. I'm sorry.
What are you talking about, bro?
Why'd you tighten it?
This is style, bro. This is style.
Bro,